Welcome back to LJG Sports. It's been a while, and when I say it's been a while, it's only been like a week or two, but a lot has happened with this San Antonio Spurs team ever since I made the last video. So today we're going to update our look at what the Spurs depth chart could look like. Before I start on the video, let me know down below what your starting five for the San Antonio Spurs would be next year. And I will get into this video straight away. So I didn't really prepare for this video as I should have. I'm going to kind of run through it because I do think there's a lot of flexibility with this current roster. Definitely much different from last year. The big changes that happened since last I did this video is we did trade for Kelly Olynyk, trading away Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley. We did sign Luke Cornett to a 4-year deal, and then we re-signed Jordan McLaughlin to a 1-year deal, so he'll be another depth guy. So let's just get into this. And I've said this from the beginning. Fox is your starting point guard. Wemby is your starting five. There's no other way around it, really. Even if the Spurs don't extend Fox this summer, there's just no reason to not have Fox as a starter. And I know some people have been saying that we should get rid of Fox. It was a mistake trading for Fox. No, the Spurs did not make a mistake trading for Fox. We literally gave up nothing for him. And it's good. It's a good problem to have when you have De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, and reigning Rookie of the Year Stephon Castle on the same team. So, and to me, Fox is the most polished. Unless Harper or Castle really takes a big step next year, there's just no way Wemby and Fox aren't in the starting lineup. Fox is your starting 1, Wemby your starting 5. With that said, this is where it can get all sorts of ways. Last time, I think I had Devin Vassell as starting shooting guard, Julian Champagnie as my starting 3, and Jeremy Sochan as my starting 4. And I did that because you need shooters on the team. And when you have a lineup with Sochan and Fox, you need other shooters. That's why I had Champagnie and Devin Vassell in the starting lineup. Now, with that said, you can reverse this, and instead of having Sochan out there, another non-shooter, you can put Barnes at the 4, and then you can have either Dylan Harper or Stephon Castle play your 2, which I think both of them will probably be better than Jeremy Sochan. And as much as I love Jeremy Sochan and I think he should be a starter, I do realize it's not realistic to have Fox, Sochan, and Harper/Castle on the same floor. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. And if y'all want me to do a video on that, where I explore what a lineup would look like of De'Aaron Fox at your starting 1, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper your starting 2 and 3, Jeremy Sochan your 4, and Wemby your 5. Basically putting your best 5 guys out there, in my opinion, but 4 of them can't shoot. It can work. And so if y'all want me to do a video on that in the future, let me know down in the comment section below. I definitely will make a video on that. This is something I've considered, but for now, I think Harper or Castle is going to start. And I think that's just inevitable. I had them both coming off the bench last time. For this exercise, I'm going to have Castle. Actually, I'm going to have Harper starting as the starting 2. Learning behind De'Aaron Fox. Castle coming off the bench being your 6th man. So with that, obviously Sochan gets kicked to the bench because you cannot have 3 to 4 non-shooters out there. So Barnes will be your starting 4, and we need a starting 3. A lot of people say Devin Vassell here, and I get it. I get why. He is getting paid $27 million per year. Is a better player than Julian Champagnie. I really like Julian Champagnie starting because in a lineup of Fox, Harper, and Wemby, you want those guys to get the touches, right? With that being said, you don't want another guy in Vassell, who was our second best player probably last year, him or Castle. So unless Devin Vassell purely wants to be a 3-and-D guy, I think Champagnie should be the starting 3. And I know a lot of people disagree with that. He's only making $3 million a year, which is a steal, by the way. But he's exactly what the Spurs need in this offense, and I'm sticking by it. 3-point shooter, long-rangey defender who can guard multiple positions, and doesn't need the ball in his hands. And that's really important because we have guys like Fox, Harper, and Wemby in the starting lineup, and you want them to do a lot of the scoring for you. So that's just my personal opinion. I think probably Devin Vassell will start here instead. But with Devin Vassell starting at the 3, you also run into the problem of he's not a natural 3. He likes playing more at the 2. That's his more natural position at 6'4", 6'5", so that's another thing to think about. But with that said, the starting lineup of Fox, Harper, Champagnie, Barnes, and Wemby is pretty good. The bench is where it gets interesting. We're going to go surefire. Castle is your backup point guard and your 6th man more than likely. Also coming off the bench would be Devin Vassell, who is your 7th/6th man. He's your backup 2. And with that said, I'm also going to say Jordan McLaughlin is locked up to be one of the bottom 5 on the team. Just obviously not enough mouths to feed on this team. And he's never been the best player. Pretty good though. Pretty good 3-point shooter. So with that said, we have the starting 5 in place. We have Jordan McLaughlin as one of the guys on the bench. We have Castle, Vassell, backups 1 and 2. So we have backup small forward, backup power forward, and backup center. And this is where it gets dicey. I would think Sochan is somewhere in this backup 5 group. He would have to be, right? He's either the 3 or 4, and that's where I'm going to get into why he might be the 3 or the 4. Because if Kornet, we're assuming, is the backup 5, which I think he will be, you could then say Olynyk, who's technically making more money than Kornet, should also be in the backup 5, which then means he would be the backup power forward, which means you would only have backup small forward left, which is either Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sochan, or Carter Bryant. So this is where it gets interesting. I don't think Keldon Johnson really has a place on this team anymore, and I've said it. Sadly, he just doesn't have a place on this team anymore. I think the Spurs probably will trade him, unless they want to keep him till the deadline next year and to see maybe there's an injury on the team, maybe something shakes up. But I just don't see a future with Keldon Johnson and the Spurs, sadly. So with that said, we can assume that Keldon Johnson will be either a bench warmer or will be traded, so he won't be a part of the discussion. So that leaves Jeremy Sochan, Kenny Olynyk, and Carter Bryant taking up the last couple of minutes on this team as the backup 3/4, which I think makes sense. It depends on what works well with the team next year. I think Jeremy Sochan should definitely be one of those guys. It'd be more of a question of, do you want Kelly Olynyk out there or Carter Bryant? And honestly, if we sit down Carter Bryant for a year and just let him develop even more, it would be good. It would also be good to get him some playing time, since he didn't get much playing time with Arizona in his collegiate career. So either way, it would work. I think the San Antonio Spurs are in a good position regardless. We have flexibility. We have depth. We have a very deep team. And so I'm just really excited to see the Spurs play next year. The Spurs, obviously, with the guys we have right now, there's still 3 roster spots, I believe, left open. I think one guy is making a name for himself and who could definitely make this team because he's been playing so well in the Summer League is David Jones-Garcia. He's been the best player on this Spurs Summer League team. Looks really good. Another guard, but he's 6'6", moves well, shoots the ball well. I think he'll probably get a roster spot as a bench warmer, but again, there's a lot of mouths to feed on this team. It's pretty good if he does make the team as a bench warmer. I think he'll be one of the guys we sign. And then it really comes down to who else we're signing. Maybe Riley Minix, maybe Harrison Ingram, but I don't think the Spurs would do that. Maybe they go sign some other veterans, but either way, that's not too important. That's the bench, like the bench. So I don't think the Spurs need to worry about that too much. So that is my updated Spurs depth chart with the moves of Kelly Olynyk and Luke Kornet coming and Jordan McLaughlin. So let me know down below what you agree with, disagree with. Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And let me know what your starting five for the Spurs would be. And let me know if you want me to make that video with the Spurs running a lineup of De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, Jeremy Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama. I would love to do a video on that, but I'm not going to do it unless y'all want to do it. Let me know down in the comment section below if you'd like to see that video.